So we don't want to keep them hanging around any longer. If we can call up Nathan Graham. First to the scales, please, Nathan. We had a fantastic battle last time, of course.
They did.
These two.
They did.
Looking forward to this one again.
Fought out a tough draw. Both guys are looking forward to getting back into it.
10-13.
Nathan is 10 stone 13.
10-13, bang on it. Kris?
On the ball, Kris, please. Okay, 69.4.
And Kris is also 10 stone 13.
10-13. Well, thanks very much indeed, lads. If you want to get dressed and join us in a second, don't want to keep you hanging around in the cold. Thank you very much indeed, Dave. So everyone bang on weight so we can look forward to another contest. I mean, last time there was very little between them. Yeah. It was very interesting that Kris, who we will of course have a chat with, he almost kind of said, you know, Nathan was unlucky there. It was a cracking battle.
Look, I think a lot of people felt that Nathan was unlucky. It could have gone. It was one of those fights. It was very tight. It was worthy of a draw, and we're fortunate enough to be seeing it again. So, you know, I'm really excited about this fight. You know, it means a lot to both guys. Winning in the Southern Area title is a tremendous platform to move on to bigger and better things. So, you know, this is a big opportunity for both of them.
Let's have a little reminder as to what happened when these two met back in September.
The 29-year-old from Aylesbury, who is 32-year-old, who came late to the pro ranks.
Neither of these two lads know what it means to have a boring fight.
And in he comes, Agyei-Dua. He's caught him a couple of times.
Just got himself on the way in.
He riled Graham there as well. You could see that he tried to react. Right from the start, they've been piling into each other. That's a terrific punch from Graham, and he's really stung Agyei-Dua there, who comes out.
So close. I mean, every round could have gone, you know, either way so far. To be honest, it's just open to interpretation at the moment.
As he looks to come forward in this 5th round of 10, and he's catching Graham now. The ring is rocking with every single one of these heavy blows, and he throws a big right there.
That's a great big left hook.
Might have caught him there.
We almost had a double knockout. Good combination. No, he got caught.
Great punch shot. A real slugfest now, folks. And you can hear the crowd now. He's done enough. Agyei-Dua here, coming in, pinning Graham back in that final round, Kevin.
After 10 rounds of boxing, we go to referee Jeff Hines' scorecard. Referee Hines has scored the bout. Graham 96 points, Agyei-Dua 96 points.
Wow.
It's a draw.
Well, lads, looking at that again, it's refreshed the memories. It was a fantastic tussle. Kris, I mean, you were very honest afterwards. It was a draw, very little between you, as Spencer said, but you actually thought Nathan might have even nicked it. It's not often you hear a fighter say that.
No, well, personally, when I watch boxing myself, nothing irks me more than when I see a fighter that clearly, I think, at the end of a 12-round decision, you can see the fighter that thinks he's won it, because that was the biggest fight of my life. I thought I'd won it. You wouldn't have seen that reaction. I mean, the reaction that Nathan gave when the fight was finished. He jumped up on the turnbuckle, saluted the crowd. So I can't then walk back to my corner like that and then go and give an interview and say I thought I won a fight. So I went out in the 12th round thinking I needed a big 12th. I thought he won it by 1 round. That's I thought it was that close. But watching it back, I can definitely see an argument for it being a draw. I can't find it for me winning it personally. But again, I felt massively disappointed with how I performed and what I'd been doing in the gym and all that. So I was a little bit down about that. But yeah, watching it back, I think a draw. You can see it that way, you can see it the other way. But yeah, it was not much in it either way.
So how's the training gone this time to what it was last time? Any changes?
Yeah, to be honest, not as much of it, or not as long a camp. Obviously, last time I think we did like 10, 11 weeks, and I think possibly boiled over and left a bit of it in the gym, so to speak. I mean, we went out to Spain for the last week of it, and I think I'd done a 12-round spar the week before we went out to Spain with Lee Purdy, and it's one of the best I'd ever sparred. And I think my trainer Jamie said then we wanted to fight now. Now was the time, and we went and done another week in Spain, really hard, running up in the mountains, and possibly overcooked it. So looking at our box, I just looked a little bit flat that night. So yeah, we just ain't done as long a camp this time.
And Nathan, you're feeling great. You had a fight the week after that as well, so I suppose you've been that tiny little bit busier than Kris. But how are you feeling ahead of this one?
Oh, can't wait to get it on, same as last time. I'm a fighter. I come to fight. I just can't wait to fight again. As simple as that. That's my job.
And the last fight, I know that you felt that you'd won that fight, didn't you? And is that the reason for this return?
I thought I'd stole it by a couple. As we said at the end of it in the interview, we'd like to get it on again to settle things up properly. He was a man of his word. He said what he thought had happened. I said what I thought had happened. And there's only one way to settle it.
So